Alright, so yeah, this one's for the police, cops, the gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen who work for the old group called Slave Patrol. Yeah, now they call them police. They serve and protect. Now, I'm not going to say all cops are bad, but I got to say, if you're a good cop and you know that's a bad cop and you're protecting them, you're a coward. And the reason why I say that is because you're scared something's going to happen to you. So you got to protect someone who behaves like someone you're given the job to get rid of, like to eliminate, to stop, to arrest. Yes, you're protecting someone who you're really supposed to be arresting. So it's like a conflict of interest. But let's go deeper than that, because I don't hate police as a person. I don't respect the uniform, and I'll tell you why. Anytime a man can put on a uniform and forget that he's a man who has a spirit and he's having a human experience, anytime that can happen, you're dangerous. And that is dangerous if you let that uniform do that to you, because your authority should not overrule your mentality. I don't care what kind of cop you are, black, white, green, or whatever you think you are. You're a cop. You work for them. And who are they? They're the devaluer, and they're the 1% that control everything, and they control you too. However, they give you the benefit of the doubt and make you a sort of, almost as if you've got sovereign power, man. It's like you're a sovereign citizen, unless you mess with the wrong one. But so long as you keep it to folks whose skin absorb the sun and people in neighborhoods rather than communities, you can get away with it. But I tell you the flip side of cops. They don't train cops to help us. None of us. They train cops to fear us. And maybe a small portion of that is to protect us. Their job's not to protect us. None of us. And I'm not talking about black, white. I'm talking about us. Spirits having a human experience. Whether your skin absorbs the sun or not. Whether you think you're supreme or not. Their job is not to protect us. Their job is to control us and to keep us from speaking about the so-called rights that people are supposed to have. This Constitution is more like constipation, more like prostitution, constitution, or constitution, prostitution. See, as long as that cop is able to pay that note, that $750,000 note for that house, that mortgage, that he don't care about you or your kid. And you little guys need to start complying. Because I don't remember a cop ever trying to hurt me. I do know some of them corrections officers up north, chumps, punks, because they couldn't become a cop. And they're angry at you, so they're going to take it out of you. But all jokes aside, yeah, the job of a police officer is sad, it's terrible, and some of them don't even know. That's the sad part. So I'm not against them. I'm just feeling sort of like hopeless when it comes to believing in them. Because how do I take a job working for the very one who's oppressing me and all those around me simply because I get a little bit so I can pretend it doesn't happen and just simply forget? So they're paid and played, but so long as they're paid, they don't mind being played. What do you mean by that, they're played? Well, they're played. If you know people are being oppressed, how are you going to go in there and calm these people by assisting the oppressor, enforcing oppression upon them? You know, of course it's not right for this guy to be selling drugs or him to be over there robbing at a grocery store. But you know the grip of oppression upon people that governments have upon people, weak people, because governments cannot rule citizens who are capable of critical thinking. You can only rule the weak, and many of us are weak. Up here, they did it to us, man, and we embraced it. It happened in elementary school. But back to cops. We're not going to hate police. We're going to dislike what the uniform does to them and what the whole militarized policing does. Because this is a military state, a military policing state. Well, I guess what they're trying to say is they're policing us just like we're in Afghanistan and they came over here for our poppy and heroin and all that other good stuff. Opioids. You guys figure it out. Just comply. If a cop stops you, you ain't got to get nasty. Let him be the nasty one. Just keep your hands where you can see him and ask him, you know, if you want to ask a question, why am I being stopped? Am I suspected of committing a crime? And finally, last but least, am I free to go? And if he says no, you just don't say nothing else and let him ask the questions. And comply. Try to help him de-escalate because he may not be wanting to go that way because he got some orders from his superiors that he didn't really want to embrace. You know, he might have been treated a certain way at the house, the precinct, they call it the house. And now he's coming out here because he's got to do what he's got to do to make them think that he's doing what they want him to do. And that's hurt you. Just respect them, man. Don't argue with them. They got a gun, a taser, all other kind of shit. I'm sure they got a razor. Compliance. De-escalate. Compliance towards de-escalating the situation. And don't just do it with cops. Do it with people, too. Because there are people out there you don't need to be fighting. And that's everybody. Alright, I'm going to shut up. Enjoy today. New Year's is coming. Comes every year. But for me, every day is New Year. Peace.